Hi Aquarius, welcome to your reading for the month of November. This message is for Aquarius Sun, Moon, and Rising. If you like the content that I share, please click the like and subscribe button down below. All right, Aquarius, your message, I'll just start with your energy. You got the Chariot in the reverse, and this is a screeching halt. This is something that you were going full force in the direction of, and something came up, some awareness was had, and this feels like it could be simultaneously outside of you and inside of you as for the reasons why this Chariot is not in the upright and moving forward. This month for November, there were a lot of, it seems that the energy is a little bit more honest, but also volatile. So things that have been percolating under the surface for people are coming up. A lot of the readings this month that I've done so far, I haven't done the majority of them, but transformational stuff is definitely happening. It's appropriate for Scorpio season. I think there's a lot of reasons astrologically probably for this. At the time when I'm doing this, we recently had the Aries full moon, and things are getting uprooted, especially in the realm of careers that are no longer aligned for people, where people have been feeling held back and that they couldn't really continue leveling up and embodying more of their own greatness. These things are falling apart. In relationships where people are feeling stuck or stagnant, or that, you know what, it's not aligned with who I am authentically. Maybe for some people it's not aligned with who I am anymore. These things are coming out across the readings. So I would suggest also checking out your, if like Aquarius is your sun sign, checking out your rising and your moon signs as well, because you might get a little bit more clarity in those readings too. Okay, so you came up here, first card out is the King of Swords. I love to see it. I love when our energies come up, not just in our own energy and not just in our spread, but as the first card out. This signifies that it's very likely that this Chariot coming to a screeching halt is actually your doing, and that you are feeling strong in who you are. You are feeling connected with your inner power, which when I use the word power, I don't mean some power and dominion over others in our lives. It's about being connected with the essence of who we truly are, and that's coming up here strong. This might have to do with your environment card, which I'll jump to now. That is the Knight of Cups. And Aquarius, you are being guided right now to follow in the true direction of your heart. I feel the need to say true, because in the direction of our heart, maybe that would look like a love scenario. If this is a love reading for you, I do sense something like that. If this pertains to love for you, then following in the direction of our heart might look like staying stuck in a situation with someone. And take this how it resonates, but you're staying true to the authenticity of your feelings, what your heart actually desires. That's the direction that you're going in right now, and that's likely why the Chariot came to a halt for you. Now, the other person in your reading is showing up here as both the Queen of Wands and the Queen of Pentacles, and so this could be like a well, let me read this row and then I might get into that. But King of Swords, that's you. Queen of Wands, that's someone else. Take it as it resonates. If this is a work situation that you've outgrown or is coming to a halt, then this Queen of Wands is that employer or that opportunity, right? But 10 of Wands after that. And this felt, once I got to this point, this first row, it all signified what the Chariot reverse is saying. Putting down some burden, something that probably once wasn't a burden, right? The Queen of Wands is a very fiery, passionate energy, and sticking with the Wands suit with the 10 of Wands, this could be something that, interesting. I'm feeling like the fire burned too bright or something. Maybe someone's expectations were too high. Maybe what started as a very passionate connection turned into a burden. That's very likely with these two cards next to each other. And you just being true to the essence of who you are is what helps you break out of any scenario that has you feeling as though you're the one carrying all of these wands, all of that weight. And I know that you're not risk averse, but you are drama averse. Aquarius energy. And the next card you got coming out is the Five of Wands. This is not for you. And in fact, I'm going to jump to right underneath that because this is a whole row. You, Five of Wands, outside of you, but you're entangled in this somehow. And then Six of Swords, moving out of that energy. You could have been surrounded by people who really didn't see you for who you are. This is really small, petty energy. This is like, this can be gossip. This is people trying to like one up one another. So if this is in work, this could be a lot of competition and drama in the workplace. And even if the waters feel really, even if you feel really unsettled, this Six of Swords suggests moving into a calmer direction. So even if the Chariot came to a halt in whatever situation this is, it's suggesting that you're moving into a calmer situation, which I love for you because it's not rigid. It's allowing the situation to unfold in a natural way where you get to be in alignment with your heart and moving out of that conflict. And with a King of Swords energy, when you're in that space, there's not much that stops that energy. When it knows what it wants, when it's very clear. In a lot of these swords cards, I'm drawn to like, where there's only one sword, I'm drawn to like the point and the blade of the sword and how that connects with our truth. Like if we were looking at an Ace of Swords, right? Our truth, our connection to our intuitive guidance. And the King of Swords needs that so that he or she can clearly make those moves that need to be made. And speaking of intuitive guidance, in the center of your reading, you got the High Priestess. If you have Capricorn placements or you're dealing with one, you might want to check out that reading as well. It might resonate for you. There was a strong message there of also listening to your inner guidance strongly connects with your environmental energy that it's pushing you to do right now with the Knight of Cups. Listening to your heart's calling so that you can move in the direction that's actually aligned with it. 2021 is a really big year of change. You break down the numbers, you get a 5, and it's a year of change so that we can build something more solid. But in order to go through those changes, we have to relinquish the weight and the burdens that are holding us back from what we really want to create. And the person you're dealing with or the work situation could even embody like an earth-like energy, something that's very fixed, almost like, grounded to a fault is what I sense with this. If it's something you're walking away from and connected to that Five of Wands, that chaos and that conflict, then it's like this is the same person or organization or whatever. It was something that was once creative and passionate and felt really good. And this is like something you wake up in the morning, you're so excited about, and then it becomes drudgery, right? Because the shadow aspects of this card are what are coming out here. There's nothing wrong with being grounded, right? And I think that's part of the reason for the escape, is recognizing that in this thing that was grounded to a fault, it became complacent and it wasn't aligned and it wasn't true to the essence of who you are. And so it's about reconnecting with passion again, but in a way that makes sense for you. Take that how it resonates. And we spoke about the Six of Swords, but this is in your bottom row, and the Page of Swords is looking directly at it. You might have people who have a lot to say about your movement and progression forward. Now, if the Page of Swords is you, it's just reiterating that you've gained more and more of that clarity, and that by embodying even more of this King of Swords energy, you're capable of speaking up about what hasn't been working as the Page of Swords. The Page of Swords has to be clear, because when the Page of Swords is not clear, it can cause even more of this drama and chaos and conflict. I'm sensing in this reading that the clarity is not an issue here. Understanding what's aligned with you is not the issue. And your last card out was the Tower card. It didn't surprise me, but I don't love getting the Tower as the last card out. I didn't think it would seem very fair to just leave it there, so I wanted to clarify it a little bit, and I got the Ace of Wands. It's the same as this. It's recognizing what isn't working, what will collapse. Something about this, even if it looked like it was on a solid foundation, there's something about this wasn't solid. It's almost like a building that's been built. I'm gonna be careful because of like potential trigger warnings with this, but yeah, it's like someone invested. It could have taken like 10 years, right? You could have like invested in something over the long haul, only to find that like being clear and honest about what you wanted 10 years from now to look like, that didn't happen, or something like that. There's no like need for any like self-shaming, self-blaming, guilt, or anything like that. I want to reiterate that with this coming out last as well. It's almost like this clarity is for your own good. And the Ace of Wands, chasing after, again, that initial passion that you had when you leapt into whatever this was, if this was a relationship or a career opportunity, whatever it was, connecting back with that initial passion is really important. Bottom of the decks, yeah, you got the Fool and the Seven of Swords. And notice how the Fool is moving away from the Seven of Swords, which I love. The Seven of Swords is the same energy that this Five of Wands embodies. It's one of deception that could be in, around you, especially if people are speaking up about their opinions on how you're moving forward in your life when you know what you want right now. But there's something around deception and moving on to the new path that's in the opposite direction of that deception. This Seven of Swords, by the way, can be our own self-sabotage, maybe where we've allowed ourselves to be too complacent or too attached, especially if it's something attached to the material, to just the foundation of a relationship or the illusion of a strong foundation in a relationship. There's a moving away from any potential self-sabotage, but also actual sabotage in the environment. And then underneath the Fool, you got the Two of Wands. So absolutely, manifesting the new path forward that is aligned with your heart, that the environment is revealing at this time. All right, Aquarius, big message. I hope you have a beautiful November. Take care.